Jennifer Aniston got married last week, so in honor of her nuptials, I decided to dedicate this installment of rom-com reviews from a hopeless romantic to Jen. I watched The Switch, which stars her and Jason Bateman. This was not a good movie. I would describe it as a romantic comedy with no romance or comedy. This movie was also bizarrely serious for a movie about sperm, and it also incredibly never said the word sperm. This is what happens in this horrible movie. Jason Bateman and Jennifer Aniston are best friends. Their names are Wally and Cassie. They don't look like a Wally and a Cassie. I'm not gonna call them that. The movie starts and Jason Bateman has this really weird monologue about like the human race and how we're all racing. And that was weird because this is a movie about sperm. And then it like abandons that tone completely. The plot of this movie, Jennifer Aniston's super old and her fertility is going down. And she doesn't want to wait around for Prince Charming, so she's gonna have a baby on her own. And Jason Bateman's like, no. So then they don't talk for 2 weeks. And then at the end of 2 weeks, he gets an invitation to her insemination party. They have like little sperm confetti. I honestly think the whole reason they made this movie was so they could make sperm confetti. So Jason Bateman goes to the party and he thinks it's really weird and he gets blackout drunk and then he goes into the bathroom where like the ingredient is in a cup. Right, did I say that the guy like deposits the ingredient in the cup at this party and Jennifer Aniston is literally gonna inseminate herself with a turkey baster at this party? It's super gross. It's like when you're at a party and you know two people are having sex in the next room, but like even worse because this is the point of the party. Jason Bateman's blackout drunk and he's in the bathroom with the cup with the ingredient in it and he's playing around with it and he spills it down the drain. And so his only recourse is to put his offering in the cup. But he's so blackout drunk he doesn't even remember that that's what happened. And Jennifer Aniston decided 2 weeks after that party, again this 2 week thing, to move to Minnesota. And then 7 years later, she calls up Wally and is like, oh hey Jason Bateman, I'm moving back to New York. Let's hang out because we're still best friends even though we didn't talk. Jennifer Aniston shows up with her child now. This kid is the only interesting part. This kid is hilarious. He collects picture frames and he's really nerdy about them. He cares a lot about like animals. He like won't eat this duck at the Chinese restaurant because he thinks that the treatment of ducks is unethical. Like this kid knows what's up. All the best moments in this movie are between Jason Bateman and this kid. So this kid is like super anxious and doesn't have a lot of friends and stuff, and these are supposed to be the sort of like things he has in common with Jason Bateman, but those are not things that Jason Bateman's character even does. So that didn't really make any sense. But so Bateman figures out that it's his kid with the help of his best friend Jeff Goldblum. I don't know why Jeff Goldblum's in this movie. He's like Bateman's co-worker / best friend who's really annoying, but then they decide he's not annoying. But Jeff Goldblum's like, you have to tell Jennifer Aniston that you hijacked her pregnancy. And that's even how he ends up telling her. He's like, I hijacked your pregnancy. Which is a very euphemistic thing to describe what he actually did. Jason Bateman tries to go tell Jennifer Aniston, and he's like, you're the most important person in my life. Which isn't true, because you guys didn't talk for 7 years. And she thinks he's gonna confess that he's in love with her, and she's like, oh, I know what you're gonna say. No one in real life would stop someone and be like, I know you're gonna admit you're in love with me, obviously. No. More time passes, he finally tells her when she's about to get engaged to the guy that she thinks is the sperm donor. That plot is so boring, I don't even want to discuss it. So he finally tells her and she slaps him in the face and you're like, good job, Jennifer Aniston. And then there's like a montage of them being sad and then she shows up at his office and is like, I'm in love with you. And then he's like, will you marry me? And she goes, probably. And then they kiss. This is the first time in the whole movie that they've kissed. So they've agreed to get married before ever kissing. They seem to have no romantic connection at all. It's failing as a romantic comedy. And then the movie takes one more dive into the sort of that cheesy thing it had in the beginning. So that kid collects photo frames, right? And you find out that the reason why he collects them is because he likes the photos on the inside, the stock photos. And then he has all these backstories for the photos. Like, this one's my dad, and this one's my dad's dad. Horrible. So I'm watching this movie and I'm like, ah, shit, we're gonna end with a bunch of photo frames, aren't we? And we did. We ended with a bunch of picture frames, now filled with photos of his happy family, blah, 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 blah. And then there's another jerky monologue from Bateman. He goes, what I'm starting to think, what I'm starting to feel, is maybe the human race isn't a race at all. Really? Not a good movie. Don't watch it. The kid, really cute though. Like that kid, he should probably be in a superhero movie by now.